I still got a bunch of old rejected bifaces. I just found these today in my bucket of a bunch of bifaces, and I found this piece here. I was thinking of doing this one on video to see how much of a point I can get out of it. So I suppose I can start with this one. Let's see. All right. That's the most difficult one, other than the curved one, because I'm going to have to lose, like 10% of it right there. And the rest of it's easy peasy. So why did I say this was most difficult? It's going to be the most difficult emotionally because you're going to lose length on it. Not really the knapping difficulty, unless you count the step fractures. As far as knapping challenge, this is more difficult. This is not difficult if you lose the length. But trying to preserve as much length as possible, that would be the difficult part on the curved flake. Okay. All these other ones are fairly straight, so it's not that bad. Of course, that thin one there may be very difficult for us, for me, for you. Just trim around the edges. It's still, it's pretty straight. If I just trim around the edges, it's already done, basically. The thinness is already there. The challenge is just not breaking it. Now, I'm going to use steel tools. I've been using steel tools. I still get questions on them. This is a steel spike nail. This is a steel rod. I suppose it's a welding rod since you can buy it at the hardware store, but it's not really a welding rod, I don't think. I don't know. There's no flux on it, so I'd consider a welding rod a rod with flux on it, but who knows. Just simple tools. Spatula tool, pressure flaker, hammer, mallet, and aluminum billet. Okay, that's it as far as tools go. So how do we make a point out of this? Do I keep the twist in it? That would be interesting, right? Just snap it into an arrowhead, keeping the twist. I'm wondering if I should. But my approach is usually to create a straight piece instead of trying to keep that twist in there. Although that would be maybe even a little easier than to tease out a straight piece from this. I think I'm just going to go for the straight piece. Gonna lose length on it because I need to remove that ridge, and one of the easiest ways is just to hit the tip to get it started, get the process started. The arrowhead is going to be mainly from this side of the piece. The other side has a big old ridge that has to be removed. But you can follow those ridges fairly easily if you have some experience. If you don't, it's going to be difficult. Oh yes. Difficult. I'm trying to fit those back on, but I'm not always successful at fitting them back on there. Yeah, I'm going to need gloves. Or one glove. I'm going to need my glove because the start of my day, I don't want to be putting on a Band-Aid and having it on all day. So now I got to get into the hard part is taking that ridge out. And there's a dip in it right there, so I'm going to have to lose length to get rid of that dip. In my brain, I drew an imaginary center line, and it goes this way. Yeah, I'm going to have to lose the top part of that right there. Might be a better way to do this than to take that top part off now, but I'm just going to take it off right now. Yeah, there is a little bit of a jigsaw puzzle mentality to this, or maybe even a chess game mentality. Certain pieces or parts before others. See, with a jigsaw puzzle, you do the outside first, right? So the way it translates into flint knapping is you look at the basic shape of the whole thing first. Get that settled. It's like doing the outside of the jigsaw puzzle, and then you start working on the inside. And I work on eliminating the hard stuff first, which is kind of opposite from a jigsaw puzzle, because with a jigsaw puzzle, you look for the easy stuff first. And then you work on the hard stuff later when you don't have as many pieces. Yeah, I gotta be careful. I'm gonna be hitting hard and it's already pretty long. If you hit it hard and you have a long piece, it's very easy to break it. Break it. Yeah, just half it right now and don't worry about it. Just throw it. It's going to break anyway. As a projectile point, why you take so much time straightening it out? It's just going to break anyway. Just half it like that and you're done. Shoot it. It's already nice and sharp. That would be the common sense thing to do on some of these. And I think it was done. Yes, I think it was done that way. But we're not going to do it that way because we have options. Yeah. I already ate dinner. I don't need to go get it. I don't need to go shoot it. Okay. Not dinner. I already ate, so I don't need to go shoot something for my lunch. Not that I wouldn't already have a bunch of projectiles ready to go. I should always have lots of projectiles ready to go back in the day. I'm sitting there napping and I already have a bunch of projectiles sitting, ready to go. Napping back in the day was forward thinking, Sometimes you have to make these things quickly, but usually you're making these while you have a bunch already available. You're just making them for the future, for future use, not for immediate use. If you already have a bunch of stuff made, most people get a little bit lazy and they don't work on stuff ahead of time. They get down to 1 or 2 projectiles left and they go, oh no, I gotta make some more. But they run into problems when they do that. Yeah. Because what if you can't get your stone? What if you can't find it? Or what if the weather's really bad or something happens and you can't? You know, you're down to very few weapons, and then you need to use them and you don't. And then you use them, but you don't have the ability to replace them right away. You're screwed for the time being. I think they used to carry these projectile points in a finished form with them, but I think more often they would carry the hafted foreshafts with the point already on the foreshaft, and not the stone points by themselves. Just my opinion. Yeah. Either that or they would carry a bunch of foreshafts made without the points on them already. And then when you have a point made, you already have the foreshaft sitting there that you can mount it. Mount it the same day or the same time you finish your point. Yeah, I'm just imagining these things. I haven't had to live out in the wilderness yet to put some of these to the test. Some of these thoughts to the test. So you see what happens, right? This was the top ridge there. It's interesting that it comes off as a separate piece. Instead of going over the top, it stops and then wipes out the ridge. It's interesting because you would think they would curve around a little bit better. Maybe it'll start curving around a little bit better in a minute. Yeah, step fracture. I'm hitting way above center line. You see that, right? It's like the most above center line that I can possibly hit. Because one side's flat. How do you hit into that area when one side's flat? You just have to do it very carefully. Because if you don't, you'll get a step fracture. I never get step fractures. Oh no, I don't. I'd be lying to you. Where's my pad? I don't see my. There it is. Okay. Now I messed up all my stuff back there. Trying to find my pad in 5 seconds. I'm going to push off on the step fracture with the spatula tool. It's a little bit beat up from the last video. Nice. Very nice. Very nice. Good as new. Yep. Till I put another one in there. Now, would it be advantageous to follow this? Let's see. Let me get this in frame. I can make a long, narrow one with this, most of this intact, and then take this part off, or turn it like this a little bit, and use this as the main mass, right? I guess that's the same as using this as the main mass. Yeah, this has got to go. This side over here has got to go. Yeah, it's not any use to us, even though that's, I'm going to lose length there. It's not much use to us. That side looks good already. But it's this side that's all wonky. So, sorry about the length. I'm going to have to lose it. Yep. Today's the last day for me to make stuff for the auction, but I'm not going to worry about that anymore. I'm not going to worry too much about what I have available for the auction, because I'll be focusing mainly on the videos in the upcoming weeks. I keep saying I'm going to try to get a bunch of stuff ready for the auction, and it has never worked out. Not even when I say that I'm going to do it. Even with the pressure of doing it, it never seems to work out. And the more I hurry, the more I work, the less I get done. The less actually is produced. I actually had some of my most productive days when I only napped for 2 days instead of napping all week. Some of my most productive weeks have been when I only napped 2 days instead of like 6 days or even 7 days. It is counterintuitive. It just didn't work out. And then I leave my entire schedule open to nap all week. And what I do is I look at what I've got, I start sorting materials, I start finding cool materials, I start keep looking around and through all my stuff, I start to reorganize this and that. I start grouping these things together. I spend a lot of time just sorting through. If I'm pressed for time and it's only like, I only got like 2 days to finish, I'll just grab whatever I have and start napping. I won't start organizing anything. I won't start taking notes on anything. I won't refurbish my tools. I'll just make doo-doo with what I got. I won't add any new tools to my toolbox. I won't do any online research. Nothing. Just strictly grab what I have and make doo-doo with what I got. And that's it. I seem to have more of a productive week. So why don't I just do that every week? Well, those last 2 days that I work on this stuff, high stress. High stress. High levels of anxiety. And then I say, I don't know if I want to keep flint napping. I don't know. I don't know if I want to keep flint napping now. It's just, if it's going to be like this every week, you got to spread it out. Give yourself more time. And then back and forth, back and forth. Some days I crunch at the end. Some weeks crunch at the end. Some weeks start crunching in the beginning. Back and forth, and it's still, I look at the results and don't get much results. And then you add the side projects. Sometimes I take some time off to work on side projects. I don't get anything done on the side projects because I'm breaking everything, or I can't get my stuff on time, my stone ordered on time. And then I don't get anything done, either on the side or for the auction. Nothing to speak of. Just minimal stuff. Minimal stuff done. because of the risk. Everything's risky. Everything's up in the air. Nothing's steady. Absolutely nothing is steady. I learned a long time ago that you need a very steady foundation to establish a business, or it's going to crumble pretty fast. If anything pushes on it, it topples over if you don't have a strong foundation. Anything that just pushes on it, any stressor or any mishap or anything like that. So I'm getting there slowly, but I don't know how that's going to look. I might have to retain some of that original surface on this one. So the moral of the story is I'm going to be focusing on the videos instead of the napping. But I'm going to offer whatever I nap on video for sale. So it's kind of like killing two birds with one stone. See how that goes. See how that goes. Yep, and I'm hitting above center line on all these strikes, depending on the bulb of percussion to do a lot of the scooping out. Now, as far as income, I can go back to a regular job and sit on a chair all day instead of sitting on a chair part of the day like I'm doing now. I can sit on a chair all day at a regular job, which would be nice and cushy and very, very nice actually. But it's got to be a better way. A better way, because I would start gaining weight again, become caffeine dependent again. I'd have to be pinned down to one location, one city, one area. Can't travel, can't go visit people, can't do anything. Can't go places, except once or twice a year on vacation. So-called vacation. Okay, so here we go. Let me zoom out. I still got some time on this segment to do something with it. A lot of times I just whittle it down. Yeah, just whittle it down. Little by little. Whittle it down, and then this will be the main surface of the point. I just got to remove that ridge, right? Right. But I got to straighten it out this way. That means losing more length. But oh well. Oh well. Let me see what's going on. Okay. The tools keep rolling away. Rolling tools. This thing rolls and stuff. Okay. Yeah. Close your eyes, because I'm going to take off some length on purpose. You don't want to see this. You really don't want to see it. It's not pretty. No, not the tip on purpose. Sacrilege. Blasphemy. Terrible. Yeah. What can you do? Not much. Gotta lose it. It's already starting to look better in terms of thickness and overall symmetry. Starting to look better already. Now I'm going to bevel this edge, so this whole edge, so that it lowers the edge a little bit, so I can start sending more flakes in. So I do want to get rid of that original flake scar as much as I can, if I can. So I'm just going to try it and see. Yep, I don't have any plans that are guaranteed to work. I'm just going to try this. Try taking back the edge and see if I can send some flakes inward from this edge. I might not be able to do it yet, like right away, but at least the edge is beveled back a little bit, so I can get a tool in there and start knocking flakes out right there, and so forth. We'll do the same thing on the other side. Now, if I focus on the video making, is it all going to be nothing but flint knapping every time, every time? Mostly yes. Mostly yes. Still have, I'm not going to give up on the woodworking idea. Not yet. Unless it just doesn't work out at all. I still got the plans to do the woodworking thing with the stone tools. But this morning I was looking at ways to promote my channel so that I get more views. Need more views. If I'm not going to be doing auction items, I need to get more views. Yep. So I was just looking this morning at what gets a lot of views, and it seems like the secret is you just need a lot of subscribers, then you get more views. But that's a catch-22. How do you get the subscribers without the views, and how do you get the views without the subscribers? Catch-22. I don't know. Actually, I do know, because I've seen channels come and go. You just need to get one or two really big videos, and then that's it. You just need to get the initial exposure. Something needs to go viral, and then from there it just kind of snowballs from there. Ouch, I took a little bit too much. I caught it. Now you can see how I lost the tip. That hurt, but it's not too bad, but it still hurt. I'm not supposed to lose the tip. This stuff flakes really well. Really well. I don't need to hit it very hard at all to get those flakes to travel. And when you have a pronounced ridge, these flakes tend to stop right in the middle too. That's interesting, because if I want to make a Cody point, I just need to make sure it starts out really thick and those flakes going toward the middle just kind of naturally stop there. Usually when I make a Cody point, I start with something relatively thin and not really thick. And I have to really pay attention to how far those flakes are traveling and try to do the same amount of force with each strike and try to get everything perfect. Whereas if it's already really thick, the flakes just naturally stop in the middle, it seems. So I'm going to try that, I guess. Try that in the future for the Cody style points. But if you look at some of the pristine examples like Scottsbluff, they're not really thick. And they don't have perfect flaking. It's semi-random. But they're not really, really thick. So I don't know how they were resharpening them. If they were. If the Edens are just resharpened Scottsbluffs, or if they just make Edens from scratch. I don't know. If you're depending on the central ridge to stop the flakes from traveling all the way, then you'd have to make the Edens from scratch and not with a resharpened Scottsbluff. I don't think. I need to examine the exact dimensions of the real Scottsbluff pristine examples to see how thick they are in the middle. Okay, so I fully flaked it. And I have a median ridge there, which is not bad. But I think I have an idea of what I'm going to do in the future for some Cody points. Take advantage of that, what I learned there for the future. Yeah, and when I lost that tip, it also went that way a little bit, which is not good. All right, next segment. Now, what I need to do now is pretty typical of any arrowhead from a preform, because right now it's the preform. There's no wonkiness, there's nothing wrong with it. I did lose some length. Yeah. I have to lose a little bit more to straighten it out. So it's just an arrowhead from a preform from here on out. I'll try to finish it as fast as I can and move on to the next preform. Okay, so a lot of pressure work to do to get the edges ready and get the symmetry set up a little bit better. Or established, get the symmetry established. Although you have to keep track of the symmetry all through the process, it gets more and more critical as you go. In the beginning, it's not too important, but as you get going, get further along, it becomes more and more important. Okay. Because you only have so much to work with as you go. Less and less to work with as you go. And pressure flaking is one of the easiest ways to establish a symmetry without breaking the whole thing. Yeah. So good. Need to put my gloves back on. It feels so much better without gloves, though. All right. Back in the day, I could take days off if I got cut. I can't no more. I can't. I was just watching an Edbo video this morning. Edbo 23. Check it out if you haven't already. I still, after all this time, I cannot achieve the accuracy that he gets, that he's able to do with the billet. with those boppers, I can't be as accurate with direct percussion as he can. I try though. Let's see. But yeah, I depend a lot on the indirect percussion for my accuracy. Ooh, that's not good. Yeah, that's not good either. What's going on there? I thought you were good material. Turns out you're not. Turns out you're not that good. Step fracturing, right where you, it's the easiest to run a flake. I don't know what's up. Yeah, like that. Supposed to run those. Yeah, like that. I don't know what's up on the other side. Yeah, see? I knew you could do it. The rock sometimes is funny. Or it's just the edge is not prepared correctly. Or the might be a piece of rock embedded in the tooltip. I don't know. Can't really tell. It's hard to analyze. That's why I don't really try to analyze what's going on too much. Just keep flaking. Just keep flaking because you probably can't figure out what exactly is going on. Yep. Just keep being careful and flaking in a careful way, unless you have to really get aggressive with it to thin it down. But this is good quality stuff, so you don't have to get too aggressive with it. But if you're using natural tools, that one slipped, so it didn't put enough force behind it, so it didn't carry over to wipe out the step fracture. Let's see. Now I can't take my glove off because as soon as I do, that flake's gonna go right into my tip of my finger. Okay. Yeah, the steel slipped on the edge and it didn't hit the edge right. It wasn't making proper contact, so the flake didn't go as far as it should have. That should have wiped out the step fracture. So, this just means I need to be more creative with how I take care of that. Yeah, the more damage control that you have to do, the more you have to depend upon luck to get things done. I'm gonna have to get lucky to get that completely cleaned off. I don't want to have to depend upon luck, so I'm just going to go into silent mode here for a second. I risked too much. It's a weird break anyway. Where did it go? What is it doing? I want to know what it did. What did it do? There was something weird about that spot. First it step fractured there, then when I hit this side, it scooped in and did something weird. Yeah. Oh well. I'll just tag this tack this onto the end of the previous one. Okay.